Hello and welcome to another local history programme on KLTV. This time I'm quizzing Frank Grombir, I hope I've got that right, who is journal editor of the Huddersfield Local History Society. Frank, good to have you with us today. Thank you very much indeed.
It's great to be here.
Now, I've got a rather strange question to start with, and I hope I can get through it because it sounds a bit odd, but what is the history of Huddersfield Local History Society, and how did it come about?
Right, the Huddersfield Local History Society was established a way back in 1977, it's 41 years ago, and it was basically aimed at people of all ages and backgrounds that share common interest in the history of Huddersfield and the area around Huddersfield. So it's not looking at one particular aspect of history, but it's trying to build on what's best about Huddersfield, as well as trying to explore the hidden histories that Huddersfield offers and have never been written about before.
Yeah. How do you operate as a society? Are you proactive and do things all the time, or do you just meet up for swapping notes and general chat to like-minded people?
Right. We are a very thriving, active local history society. We have a committee that's very active, people who are very enthusiastic about local history, as well as a very supporting members base. We have about 220 members, which is a good number, but if you think about it, Huddersfield having about 140,000 people, there is still a big area for growth. Basically, what we do, we organize 8 evening talks a year where we invite various speakers knowledgeable about various areas of history, and that's open to everybody. The members get to go there for free, and the talks are £2 for non-members. So there is talks. We also offer a journal, which is something that I do as editor. So the journal comes out annually. We've also established various events such as the Luddite Memorial Lecture, which was established in 2014 to commemorate the legacy of the Luddite movement. Yeah. So the next Luddite lecture is going to be in May 2019. Yeah. Where we'll have Janet Martin, one of the committee members of the society and a local historian. The society also sends a regular newsletter to its members where we inform people about not just our events but anything that goes on in the Huddersfield area.
And that's your personal position, isn't it? Journal editor. What does it entail you doing?
Right, so it's basically almost a full-time job. I have to communicate with people who are passionate about local history. I'm trying to look for local talent. So through my work in the local history library, I get to meet people, and anytime I see somebody doing something local history research related, I try to talk to them and encourage them to write an article.
And that's where you get your hidden history from, I suppose.
Absolutely, yes. So Huddersfield has a very rich history, and there is all sorts of things to tap into, and people do a lot of things, and that's what we're trying to encourage. It's people don't often come to us, so we'll have to go out and look for them.
Yes, yeah. So it's not just a case of looking around, but it's poking around and asking around. Absolutely.
We obviously get a regular set of authors who try to contribute regularly, but what my role is also to try and find new themes that could be explored, and that's why the Society has also set up a local history prize in the name of Edward Law, which was one of the local historians, recently passed away. So we tried to commemorate his legacy, and one of the ways of doing that was setting up the prize where we're trying to encourage new people who have never published before
That's the way
to do stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Now, you've got Huddersfield in your title, obviously, but do you cast your net a bit wider than that?
We do. We basically cover the Huddersfield district, which is quite a vague term. But if you
We
look,
could call it Kirklees.
we could technically call it Kirklees. We don't want to get into other societies' business, you see.
I get it.
But if you look at our journal, you will see that the articles published in it cover different areas of Huddersfield and Kirklees. So in the last one we had somebody talking about the establishment of the Pakistani community in Heckmondwike, for example. So yes, we cover a wide area.
Yeah. What plans do you have for the future of the society?
Well, we would like to, for the society to keep growing, hopefully to get more and more members, as there is a huge scope for membership. We obviously can only work with what we've got, so most of the work, the driver behind all the work is the committee of the society, and we can only stretch ourselves so far. So the more members we've got on the committee, the more work we can do. So we're obviously looking for new blood and new talent all the time.
Great. Well, you've mentioned a couple of future events. Any more that you've got coming up Christmas or something like that?
Yes, certainly. Just in a few days we'll be launching a new publication titled Making Up for Lost Time, the Pioneering Years of Huddersfield Corporation, which actually commemorates the 150th anniversary of the incorporation of the Huddersfield Borough, when Huddersfield got its own elected council. So this year is actually...
A bit of a good year.
Totally, yeah. So the society tries to reflect the events, the anniversaries that happen throughout time. So we also mark the anniversary of the First World War armistice, and that's reflected in the journal. There is a war and peace theme in there with 3 articles looking at things that happened in the First World War.
And while we're on the subject of history out of the Huddersfield area, just at the beginning of the year there was a statue of a suffragette put in Westminster Square, to much consternation in some parts and to loud cheers in other. But you do actually get involved in the history of women's suffrage, don't you?
Yes, we do. Basically, we're going to mark the anniversary of the women's suffrage and the fact that women, for the first time, some of them could vote. This is reflected at the back cover of our journal, where you will see Florence's Lockwood's suffragist banner. We're also going to have a talk in autumn that will talk about women's suffrage. And also, related to the theme of women's agency, we're going to have an article in this year's journal about Mary Elaine Sykes, who was the first woman mayor and the first Huddersfield woman lawyer.
Right, okay. Now, if anybody is watching this programme and thinks, now that's something I'd like to get involved in, A, can we? And B, how do we do it?
Yes, totally. Anybody can get involved. It's dead easy. Basically, you need to look up the membership form on the Society's website, which is also a great source of information. You can pay by PayPal or just ring our membership secretary, who will explain all the terms and conditions of membership. But just check the website or pick up the journal, which is available at any good bookshop or in the library, and it's got all the information and contacts for the committee and details of the membership.
And they might even run into you as well, TV star.
They might do.
My thanks very much indeed to Frank Grombir of the Huddersfield Local History Society. Back again next month with another instalment. This is Dave Hodgson. Bye for now.